Russia lies. From government officials to the military, diplomats and propagandists, all the way up to Putin and his cronies. If their mouths are open and they are uttering sounds, you can make a bet that they're lying. And most times you'd win that gamble. The lies are often so monstrous, gigantic, so ridiculous, so irrational and contradictory that they'd be comical. Except that Russian lies are also accompanied by theft, murder, rape, and torture. Brutality and depravity on a scale that Europe has not seen since the 1940s. Welcome to Silicon Curtain. Please like and subscribe to see more great guests and content. Today I'm speaking with Operator Starsky, a Ukrainian National Guardian, blogger, and self-described war hipster. He has created one of the most popular and original YouTube channels dedicated to the international community who support Ukraine in its struggle against Russian aggression. Well, I have to say it's an immense pleasure speaking to you, and welcome to the channel.
Thank you so much. Thank you for the invitation. It's very nice to see you.
This is brilliant, and we had a lovely chat before the video, and I think we're going to try and explore some of those issues we started to sort of discuss there and share them with the audience. Now, your channel started in January 2019. Tell me a bit about its origins.
I decided to make a blog dedicated to my brigade. It was like an attempt for creating a non-official source of information for Ukrainians, basically. And I tried to make some interesting content from the inside of the military brigade in Ukraine, our guys training, our recon troops, our Stugna operators, and things like that. And at some point, I think 2 weeks after the beginning of the invasion, I decided to use this channel as my main platform for informing the international community about what happens in Ukraine, because at that time, people on the West, people around the world, they didn't have enough sources on the ground. And that time I can say I was on the ground because Kyiv was besieged, and there was a lot of things to show. At some point, we liberated area north of Kyiv, Irpin, Bucha, Hostomel, and we found a lot of mass graves there and things like that. So I think it was important to show to the international community what happens. And yeah, nowadays there's a lot of other channels that have much bigger quality than mine, that have much in-depth analysis of what's going on, and I'm trying to support those channels as well as much as I can, because they're doing a very, very nice job. So that's the story.
And of course, it helps that you have impeccable English as well. I mean, there are not that many, even other sort of bloggers and people running channels that have not just a command of English, but people who can, be humorous in English as well. That's quite a talent.
Yeah, it's. I think that in order to learn more, to be more educated, you got to learn other languages. I learned Polish, English. I tried to learn Italian, and currently I am learning Farsi. And English is my probably favorite language because it's easy comparing to Ukrainian, for example. And yeah, I've been watching YouTube in English for many years, probably.
And so I'm assuming, is Ukrainian your first language, or is Russian your first language, or are you pretty much bilingual in both?
Ukrainian was my first language, but I was born in the USSR, and of course everybody were supposed to know Russian back in the USSR, because Ukrainians were kind of untermensch if they were speaking Ukrainian. It was like that. In order to be successful, in order to reach some, I don't know, some success in your career and education and things like that back in the USSR, you had to become Russian. No matter if you were Ukrainian, Belarusian, Kazakh, or whatever,
Uzbek, whoever, Tajik, everybody had to,
you had to learn Russian, of course, because all those territories were occupied by communist Russians, and you had to learn Russian and to assimilate, okay, with the rest of the Russians, and hopefully move to Moscow, of course.
And that, I mean, that's the subject of numerous films, isn't it? People moving from the village, from wherever to the big city. Yeah, I mean, some of those films are kind of interesting. Some of them are quite tedious, but whether it's romance or tragedy, it's always heading to Moscow. I mean, I found this. Well, I found something similar as well. In when, as I learned Russian, and I found it incredibly difficult doing that. And it's such a shame YouTube didn't exist. When I was learning Russian, there was no internet, there was no YouTube, there was none of these sources, and that was incredibly difficult doing that.
Yeah, some people don't understand how difficult it was back then when we didn't have YouTube, when we didn't have cell phones. Oh my God. And you could not even like confirm your identity without a smartphone, which is something you cannot imagine today. Some people were already born the day there was YouTube, there were social media, and they're already adult, right? They finished schools and things like that. It's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, just imagine, when you're out drinking with friends, and you somehow get separated. Before mobile phones, that was it. You probably wouldn't find them again that evening. They'd be like, "Where have they gone?"
Yeah. You had to actually go find a policeman.
Yeah,
and use their help
that's
to
right.
find people you were drinking beer with.
Yeah, I even managed to lose a date one time, and that was it. We went in two different directions, and I was like, "Okay, this is over now." Um, in a more serious tone, how did your command, how did your sort of senior officers react to you doing this channel? Were they supportive, tolerant, suspicious? I'd be really interesting to find that out, because you can just imagine on the other side, a Russian Morbik setting up his own channel, doing the kind of things you're doing. I kind of suspect that would not be tolerated in the same way.
I had a Facebook page. Of course, I used a nickname, and I had it when I was an NCO in my company, and I made it way before the YouTube channel, and it was kind of popular in Ukraine, and I tried to show again the military brigade of the National Guard of Ukraine from inside, things like that. The moment my command learned that it was my Facebook, they offered me a position of a press officer. So when I created this blog on a YouTube, the reaction of my brigade was basically, he's a press officer, let him do it, So they were very, very supportive in this regard. And later, our even higher command, chiefs of our press service of the National Guard, they were like, you see what he does? Do the same. You got to do the same, So that was their reaction. I'm very glad that they were supportive in this regard.
Mm. And they don't intervene editorially. They don't tap you on the shoulder and say, that last video, you just went a little bit too far with that, or do they give you, full trust, free reign?
There were such moments, of course, but come on, we have freedom of speech in Ukraine, and yeah. I don't drive airplane, like I don't fly airplanes. I don't fly helicopters because I'm not very how you call it. I don't have experience, and I am not very. My God, I forgot the word. Oh my God, qualified. Okay,
Qualified.
yeah, and some people in the army, like in the infantry, they don't do video blogs because they're not really qualified in doing this. But because I'm a press officer, I can do it, I think. And yeah, my command realized that.
Mm.
There were a lot of things that were shown in my videos that required some of their reaction, and I'm very glad that they reacted and tried to solve some issues that I was pointing in my videos. So basically, they were very, very supportive, and they still are.
And another aspect of it, of course, is yes, producing materials, but also having a sensitivity to your audience, watching them react, see which videos are successful, which aren't, fine-tuning the tone, the material, and planning. The great thing about YouTube, of course, it gives you a wealth of statistics about what's working and what isn't. I'd love to know how you sort of as a marketeer, I'd love to know how you sort of use this wealth of information to, refine your channel, and how you did that through the evolution of the channel over the last couple of years.
You see, I learned that you gotta be honest on the first place, because it's like this: when you're making a video about, for example, our recon troops, and you started like like Russian style, our heroic recon troops, invincible to enemy fire, trained to use their special weapons, top secret, no analogs, and and of course they have all kinds of supplies from our command. They have cosmic satellites flying and showing them. It's like when you start doing this, people go like, dude, like, stop it. Okay. You gotta be honest, because I spent, my God, I spent 14, 15, 16, 5 years as a sergeant in the army. And of course, I would not go like, this hardcore propaganda style. It doesn't work. People will stop watching your channel instantly. So I try to be as honest as possible and show people exactly what happens. Of course, I try to show people some characters, some portraits, some interesting people, basically. And there's a lot of interesting characters in my early videos that were made for Ukrainian audience. A lot of those guys became heroes of the war. And I'm very proud to have such friends, basically. And I'm very proud to be the one who made videos about them years ago.
Mm. And it's a way of amplifying a reality, isn't it? So to call it propaganda, I think, is completely inaccurate. What you're doing is sort of amplifying and leveraging a truth, which is incredibly effective. Propaganda works in an opposite way, doesn't it? It sort of says, okay, the truth is this thing, but we're going to create an alternative version and amplify that. In that respect, what you're doing, and in fact, the wider sort of meme war, Ukraine has been winning that, because it doesn't need to invent these monstrous lies and stories.
Because this is the law of fighting an informational war, right? It's when you see this artificially exaggerated propaganda things, you gotta fight it with humor. That's the only weapon that works. And sometimes, of course, I receive a lot of commentaries from people saying there's propaganda on both sides. Like both Russia and Ukraine do that, and West does that. People don't understand that propaganda is something that was invented by Russians. They invented propaganda. They had professional, back in the times of the Bolshevik Revolution, they had those teams of professional revolutionaries, professional speakers that could ignite masses of people. And they were so dangerous, basically, for communists themselves that eventually Stalin executed all of them. But the point is, Russians invented propaganda. They invented institutions that were implementing propaganda into mass media, into their culture for many years. Currently, all kinds of their products in the media, on the TV, on the radio, on the internet, it's injected with their propaganda. When you analyze their music videos, you know, that very, very popular band, Little Big, I think, just analyze their videos when this dude is walking down the street wearing old style clothes, and he goes into this gastronome, this Russian store, old school store with everything old school. He buys vodka and things, and it's soaked with this nostalgic feeling for Soviet Union, you know. It's like one of their biggest weapons they use in this informational warfare is this: we were all born in the USSR. We are all brothers, you know. And people watching this, they start feeling, even people who never saw the USSR, like students, you know, they still feel some kind of, you know, this warm feeling of being attached to this, of being related to this, which is again a complete bullshit. Those people who saw the USSR, who saw this poverty, who saw this basically, it was a totalitarian regime. A lot of people were just disappearing and executed for no reason. So they use a lot of that propaganda. I'm not even mentioning their news, which are completely insane and they're not healthy to watch at all. But their music videos, their movies, their heroic soldiers dying in the trenches, and of course, they sometimes they show that yeah, their command doesn't care at all. Probably it's like, you know, preparing those future recruits for the service and things like that. There's a lot of such things. Their literature, oh my god! So they created this whole new genre of like sci-fi books. It's like some individual traveling through time and helping to fight fascism. And it's so cringy. Like, cringe is one of the definite characteristics of Russian culture.
I was about to say, like, did you see the New Year's show, the New Year's celebration, which has always been cringe, you know, and it's always had the same kind of faces. And even if they're younger singers, you know, they're clones of people who would have been on the previous shows. But this year was just on another level, wasn't it? It was like something out of Hunger Games. It was just so insane.
Oh yeah. Have you seen that advertisement created for the Western audience about a guy who calls? Yeah. It's like guy searching for a girl to celebrate Christmas together, and because all the world is gay,
yeah,
he goes
or
to
the
Russia.
57 varieties of gender, which, you know, they claim exist.
Oh my god! The like I'm trying to understand their target audience. Like, I'm trying to analyze and understand the target audience for this video. On the West, nobody cares. Like, nobody cares whatsoever who your partner is, like what you're doing, and like it's your business. On the West, we are taught to know when to stop caring, when to not care. Like it's your business, okay? It's your private business. But it's so ridiculous. Oh my god, it's just something that we call blitzcringe. Russians try to have this blitzkrieg in Ukraine. They have this blitzkrieg. That's how we call like everything related to their media, to their news, and to their army, of course.
Cringe Mageddon or something, it's but if people haven't seen it, there's a great sort of Russian expert on Twitter called Julia Davis, and she actually translates a lot of the propagandist clips, and she's done a translation of the New Year's thing. And I think the other irony of it is that the kind of, because as we were discussing before we hit the record button, I spent a number of years in sort of Russia in the 90s. And what horrified me about watching this New Year celebration, apart from the sheer awfulness of it, was how many of the faces that were on the TV 30 years ago, they've all had plastic surgery now, so they don't look any different apart from, being a little more plastic. But it's the same kind of people, the same songs, the same kind of nonsense. And that is, it's funny on one level. On another level, it's horrifying because it kind of suggests that the culture is completely moribund. It's like it's preserved in aspic, that jelly that goes around the meat. Nothing's changed, nothing's innovative. Is that, however, at a deeper level, is that a symptom of the system that's been created, the vertical, the nepotism? It means that talentless people get into these key positions and then stay there, and there's nothing new to replace them.
I would say that it's part of their mythology, specifically this New Year celebration. It looked like this all the time. Okay, it was like this forever, for decades. For like if you saw it in 60s, it would look like this exactly. And it's part of their mythology because on a new year, Soviet citizens would gather around a table and watch this Голубой огонек, this blue flame, so-called this New Year's show. No idea why they called it like that. Anyways, and they would have this Olivier salad. Olivier, of course, it's a Russian salad, despite being called Olivier for some reason. And they would drink vodka and watch the same singers for 50 years. Because this thing is like, a foundation for their mythology, like one of the foundations of the Ruski world, basically. And they have a lot of those, like Victory Day celebration, 9th of May every year.
Yeah. Armed Forces Day is another one, isn't it? Which is that I was advised very early on not to go out on the streets during Armed Forces Day, because if you're obviously foreign, you're at very high risk of getting a beating or worse.
Yeah, because they will be like, "Oh, you are what? You are Western? Oh, you are fascist," and they start beating you. It's just like that.
I mean, I was lucky because I looked very, I looked a little bit like a kind of Soviet hippie. I was very badly dressed. I looked quite messy. So they'd kind of, they just ignore me. But this was back in, I think it was like 95, and we're in Gorky Park. And I didn't realize it was kind of Victory Day. And the Spetsnaz kind of like parachuted out of a helicopter into Gorky Park. And they uncorked, a bottle of vodka as they leapt out of the plane or the helicopter. And by the time they hit the ground, they'd managed to sort of drink the whole thing. And then they went around and they found two Dutch guys who they thought were German, because German and Dutch sound quite similar. Yeah. And those two guys ended up in intensive care. Yeah.
Oh my God. It doesn't surprise me.
Yeah. So let's move on. One of the things that coming back onto humor, one of the things that has been extraordinarily successful, of course, is the meme warfare. And we know when we go back to the sinking of the Moskva, Snake Island, there are so many examples of it. Some obviously built on incredible sort of tragedy, but some built on things that are quite humorous, like the tractors, early on towing tanks and all these kind of things. But there have also been other phenomena that have arisen, digital media phenomena. And one of those is sort of NAFO, which is quite a sort of vigorous meme army. Sometimes, it's difficult for sitting where I am to know whether these are having any effect materially in bolstering, the West's support for Ukraine. Do they also have any kind of value in boosting morale? Are people even aware of these things, if they're on the front line?
Yeah, of course. They produce tons of beautiful memes and beautiful images that work like that. I can tell because every time they post something in my commentaries in Twitter, I use some of those in my YouTube as well. NAFO guys are amazing. What they do is something incredible because previously it was only possible, let's say, in Russia, all those hordes of Russian bots controlled from Olgino, for example, they were spreading all kinds of crap. And in order to combat that, you would have to spend billions of dollars every year. In 2017, according to the information of our Council for Security and Defense of Ukraine, they spent $4 billion for external propaganda only. And of course, to fight that amount of propaganda coming from Russia everywhere in the social media, on the music channels, everywhere, you had to at least have some kind of similar funds. But it's crazy. We don't have some kind of oil pipe hidden in the bushes somewhere, so we could drain some oil and sell it and spend those money on propaganda. It doesn't work this way. So what NAFO fellas do, it's completely amazing because it shows what people can do when they are united, over some idea, and they're united voluntarily. It's always amazing, and it's always more powerful than any kind of state-funded attempts to zombify people.
I mean, that's part of the joke, isn't it? That everyone joking that they're all based in Langley, Virginia, and funded by the CIA. But at heart, it's a self-generating movement with no overall command or control. You can go out and you can kind of say what you want. And if you go too far, although I suspect there is no too far, then the community will kind of rein you in. If, however, you say anything that is, supportive of Russia or supportive of narratives, oh my God, the community are all over that. It's like a body's immune system, isn't it?
Yeah. It's great because they don't have this vertical chain of command, right? Yeah. And everyone is autonomous, basically.
And does that reflect very much? I mean, one of the reasons I believe Putin invaded Ukraine, and one of the reasons why I believe you guys are winning, is because of this self-organizing part of your your psyche, your DNA, distrust of authority, if you guys see a problem, it seems to me that dozens of Ukrainians that I've spoken to, none of them were funded by the government when they started out. None of them, they saw a problem and they were like, well, no one's going to fix this. So I'm going to fix this. And off they went and they did something. Is that one of the key characteristics of Ukrainians?
Oh yeah, it is. A lot of people don't know one thing. Such phenomenon as anarchy actually was born, and it worked in Ukraine 100 years ago by Nestor Makhno, who first implemented this, let's say, system of management, right, in Ukraine. Anarchy was very, very typical for Ukrainians for centuries. That's why we learned how to how to live in smaller communities and communicate with other communities. And in case there was some kind of threat, we could always self-organize and unite with others and fight back. And again, a lot of people all over the world, they don't know that Ukrainians generally are very, very, I would say, anti-government in their nature. We always trust ourselves and people around us. That's why we can self-organize. And one of the biggest examples of that was Revolution of Dignity in Ukraine, where basically we didn't have some, one leader, one strong leader. No, we had multiple smaller leaders in this huge community of protesters. We had hundreds of NGOs, hundreds of different organizations and communities, religious communities, all kinds of them that were uniting against the dictator Yanukovych. We have this. We usually we don't trust our authorities. We would rather trust our bodies, So it's I would say it's like one of our national features.
I get the impression as well that there are those who repeat Russian narratives, some unthinkingly, some who are considered sort of intellectuals in the West. I think they have trouble understanding this idea that you've expressed there. But I also think that Putin and his entourage do not understand that either. I think they genuinely believe that the Ukrainian movements to preserve and evolve democracy, I think they genuinely believe that these were color revolutions. I think they genuinely believe there is no such thing as democracy, as self-organization. They just, because they've never experienced it, and their people do not generally behave in that way. I don't think they can wrap their heads around it.
Yeah. Another thing is that democracy is something that Putin doesn't want, because he controls the oil. He controls most of the income in this country. His elites and subordinates among those elites, they don't need democracy because it will ruin all this. That's why they understand that democratic Ukraine is very dangerous for very existence of this, corruption scheme on a global level in Russia. Because at some point Russians will start saying, "Look at Ukraine. We want to live like that." I remember that we intercepted plenty of telephone calls from Russian soldiers that were looting apartments in Bucha, and they were so impressed. They were saying to their wives that how can Ukrainians live like that? Like, we were always told they were like Untermensch, like subhumans. How can they live like that? How can they live in such houses and have nice, finishing works inside of their apartments and have toilets and internet and hot water, and they don't understand that majority of Ukrainian people live like that. This is the way we live. And that's why basically democracy is so dangerous for Putin, because he's risking of losing everything. On the other hand, there's one thing about like KGB training, KGB culture, I would say. In the KGB school, you would be taught to deny everything. And yesterday I talked about it on another channel. It's like when you're caught in a bed with your best friend's wife, you still gotta deny everything. You gotta deny obvious facts. You gotta deny reality. You gotta say that it's not his wife. Me is not me. You are sleeping. He's not my best friend.
That's not a bed. Yeah.
It's and you got to deny obvious things, because if you do that a lot, some people will start having doubts, like, what if what you're saying is true, actually, and we can see that it works. And Putin, who was a KGB agent, it's not a secret, Putin brought this culture into his elites, and they adopted this. That's why they always like denying obvious facts. Yes, they say that all the West is fascist, of course, like all kinds of British fascists, Canadian fascists, Japanese fascists, Spanish fascists, and all other fascists. They support Ukraine, and supporting Ukraine makes them fascists. Everybody who attacks Russia is fascist, of course, no matter what kind of your religion, no matter what color is your skin, no matter what country you're from, you're always a fascist if you're fighting against Russia.
We're all Nemtsy, basically. We're all German.
Yeah. And they again, they deny obvious things, like they destroyed Mariupol, but they say that Ukrainians destroyed Mariupol because we always bomb ourselves when Russia attacks. And of course we always rape our own women just because we are so evil, and one of the craziest things that I saw when they were like justifying Russian atrocities in Bucha was like Ukrainian army did that when they entered the city, and they saw a lot of people, and they were angry at people because they thought they were supporting Russian invaders, and they shot just everybody, even despite the fact that on all kinds of satellite images, those bodies on the streets were there for months. They still keep this narrative, and many others.
And unfortunately, they work. I mean, if we go back before the full-scale war, we've had incidents in the West like the poisoning of Skripal, of course, Litvinenko and various other incidents. And, even when Skripal happened, I had highly educated liberal friends in Russia get in contact and were like, why are you writing this on Facebook? It's like, this is such a hideous crime. We could, we hate our own leaders, but, we never could have done this. It's like, guys, come on. It is beyond obvious. And it's beyond obvious why it's being done as well. Whether the guy died or not, it's a very clear signal to say, this is unique and rare poison. We did it completely openly and visibly so that everyone would see it and get the message. Only we could do it, and we're going to deny it, which kind of means we did it. And everybody who is an oligarch abroad will get the message, like, you're not safe, your money's not safe. Don't even think about speaking out, because, we can get you, whoever you are. Anyway, it was all so obvious, and yet they have this plausible deniability. I mean, that's got more difficult, obviously, through the war. You have organizations like Bellingcat. You have a high degree of trust in Ukrainian authorities. You have guys like you doing amazing videos as well. So part of that plausible deniability has sort of fallen apart to an extent. Having said that, there are parts of the world where these messages still work, unfortunately. You've got Global South, people in India, China especially. You'll know that from your channel. I'm sure you get a ton of trolls from those areas of the world where this stuff still works. And goodness, even Serbia, Greece, some people in Italy, Hungary. I mean, there are places where this nonsense still seems to cut through. Bulgaria is another one as well.
On the other hand, I must say that I received plenty of supportive commentaries from those countries as well. I was impressed to receive plenty of commentaries from Serbia and from India and what was the country? There were commentaries from Iran. Can you imagine that? And there are even Iranians fighting for Ukrainians in the International Legion.
Right. Didn't know that. That's incredible.
Yeah. Some of them died fighting for Ukraine. When I was at Maidan Nezalezhnosti, our square of independence in Kiev, there was this big kind of like stela with flags of different countries, volunteers of which are fighting for Ukraine, and there were flags of Myanmar, Iran, things like that. But returning to your question, I think one of the reasons why it works in the civilized world is because it is only my theory, is because there are people trying to justify criminals always. Like, if they say that Ukraine is guilty in all this, the guilt is on Ukraine because Ukraine wanted to be independent and it made Russia angry, and of course it justifies Russian invasion, right? It's like saying that this woman that was raped, of course it's a horrible thing and raping is bad, but she was wearing a miniskirt. It provoked, and it completely justifies. Yeah, and it completely justifies her being raped, right? I don't think that people who think this way, they are bad. I think the reason for that is because on the West we are taught to try to understand other people, try to understand their motives, because we understand that the only way we can be successful is through cooperation and mutual understanding, right? That's why we have this in our mentality, and we are trying to walk the shoes of the criminal, but at least to try to understand the motives of his actions. That's why it works on the West, for example. On the East, in countries like India and other places, I think the reason why it works is because the amount of media that is directed specifically at this area, again, all those media basically funded by Russian regime,
state run, Russian supported media.
Yeah, they would rather people in those areas would rather watch Russian media because they have more access to those medias than watching some mainstream media or Ukrainian media, of course.
And there's a process of normalization, isn't it, as well? I mean, and this isn't just the West, this is sort of everybody does this. They try to interpret the world through their own framework of values. So there are those in the West who are going to be trying to look at Russia and say, all of this suffering, all this pain, this aggression can't just be irrational. It just can't come from irrational human emotions. I'll come to those in a minute. And they use big geopolitical ideas. They try to create these huge abstractions as why it's happening, in some ways sort of almost letting the aggressors off the hook. But it seems to me the root cause of all of this is irrational. It's like a character in one of Dostoevsky's short stories, Человек Podpolya, an
Yeah.
underground man, where he sees perfection, he sees some sort of beautiful thing, and he just wants to kick it over. He has this instinct to destroy something that's perfect and working. And it seems to me that the heart of this is an incredibly deep and dark human emotion, which is zavist, which in English means envy,
Yeah.
nenavist, hatred, and another one, ограбление, which is basically theft. And I think if you look back through Russian history, there are these three characteristics aren't always present, but they come to the surface at key moments in history, and there are far more atavistic, basic explanation of what's going on.
Yeah, absolutely. The reason why they attack other countries is it's like, people trying to justify Russians or trying to understand Russians. They must also remember at all times that, yeah, you can try to understand or justify whoever you want, but you should not tolerate crimes. Understanding is fine, but you should never tolerate crimes. And when some country invades other country without any obvious reason, Ukraine never attacked Russian cities prior to this invasion. There was, of course, there were no genetically modified birds and mosquitoes and dirty bombs. Nobody could prove that, and things like that. They invaded Ukraine only because they were educated like this. They were educated that Ukrainians and all other nations are Untermenschen, that Russia is the strongest power in the world with the strongest army, and they have those, foundations of the Russian world, which is Russian church, the coolest church in the world, the only true faith,
Run by the
Russian
KGB, yeah.
Russian language, which means that when you hear Russian language somewhere, like, there is Russia. If you hear it like in Italy, there is Russia, and things like that. So, and of course, unification of the Soviet Empire. Okay, unification of all those countries who dared to escape, to become independent, successful. They betrayed Russian people basically by becoming successful. So those are foundations of the Russian world that was implanted in people's heads in Russia for decades. They were educated like this. They were zombified for years and years and years through watching those media. I remember when there was war in Chechnya, they would always say this phrase, Chechen terrorists, in all of their news, in all of their movies, like everywhere. You would hear Chechen terrorists like 100 times a day. And eventually you would start thinking like this, Chechen terrorists, oh my God. Currently they're talking about Ukrainian fascists and Western fascists, because in Russian mentality, Western countries like the UK, Germany, Italy, France, of course, they're fascist because they don't accept this policy of Russian terror. And it's so incredible, but you have to live like either in Russia or next to Russia to at least understand this. And for some reason, Russian neighbors, and I'm talking about Lithuania, Latvia, Estonia, Poland, Ukraine, Georgia, for some reason they don't like them. They're like, I don't know why. They look like, they look so friendly and open that all of their neighbors freaking hate them for what they did.
Yeah, I mean that gets me onto my next question so perfectly, because this understanding seems to recede the further west you get, the more I almost call it nostalgic to an extent, but the more accepting, the more like, but this is Putin's war. Russians have nothing to do with it. And as you say earlier, if you listen to some of those intercepts, it's like, well, not every Russian wants this to be happening, but God, there's a hell of a lot of them who do. And that has very real consequences. I mean, this leads me to the question of where are the effing leopards? Because the German government seem to be incredibly confused about what's going on and still prepared to let Putin off the hook, basically. Whether this is through historic guilt or, as I suspect, something far more malicious, which is that the over decades the leadership has been bought out, washed out with money from Russia, and they're just waiting to normalize those relationships again. I mean, that's my slightly more cynical view, perhaps, on it. But yeah, I mean, I want to get your take on that, but also, what can people do who are watching this to get that sort of heavy metal, that heavy armor unlocked and sent to Ukraine? Because it seems to me absolutely critical for you guys to win this war.
I think the reason why we have such situation in the countries that don't seem to be happy to support Ukraine is a combination of all those things. We all know that, and it's according to investigators of Bellingcat, for example, that Russia spent $300 million to buy the loyalty of different politicians on the West, different public figures and opinion makers. Another thing is, of course, probably this feeling of historical guilt in Germany specifically. I cannot talk much about it because I'm not German. I think they know better than me. Yeah, but it's just a theory. I can be wrong. Another thing is that every representative of every intelligence agency of the world will tell you that every far right and far left movement in Europe is funded by Kremlin. Again, it's not a secret to anybody. And there's a lot of those in Germany specifically. I remember that when there were like those massive strikes in France, for example, that were supported by different German movements, as well as those protests in the US. They were supported by huge amount of pro-Russian organizations in Germany specifically, and there's even a picture of one of those organizations, their office, with the flag of this artificially created Republic of DPR, right? Or Novorossiya. And we all know that they're funded by Kremlin. When you scratch this activist, or far left or far right, doesn't matter. If you scratch him, underneath you will see the pack of rubles. So that's another reason. And of course, we know that almost 500 Russian spies were actively operating on the West. Ukrainian intelligence passed this information to our Western colleagues in the beginning of the invasion with names and all the data. And I think in the end of the last year, all of them were ejected from those countries they were operating at. I think we were talking about 400 Russian spies.
And those are the ones we know about. I mean, there may be many more.
Yeah, of course. People, in order to start changing something, people must realize two things. First thing is that Russian military forces already operate in their country. Like, for example, in the UK, poisoning of Litvinenko and poisoning of Skripals, their combat operators covertly arrived to the UK, and they they accomplished their combat mission of poisoning people.
Yeah.
There were representatives of the foreign army on their territory, which is it's crazy. And another thing people must understand is, I completely agree with you that a lot of people further from Ukraine, they have this less of this understanding or fear probably. People must understand that peaceful life changes very rapidly.
Yeah.
In a blink of an eye, everything that surrounds us, everything that makes us feel happy, like restaurants, hot water, heating or gas in your apartment, electricity, being able to plug in your phone or charge your laptop, things like that, those things disappear in a blink of an eye with just one incoming Russian shell or a missile. And here in Ukraine, we learned that. I remember back in 2018, I think, I had another YouTube channel dedicated to Ukrainian community where I was explaining that if Russia attacks Ukraine, this can happen. And the reason why I was explaining this in the first place was because we already had this war on the eastern Ukraine in Donbass, but majority of people were still living peaceful life on the rest of the territory. And to us, to military personnel, it was obvious that Russian invasion is just a matter of time. We all saw it coming, basically, because when Russia concentrates such forces in those territories, when Russia has those constant military exercise in Belarus, then in territory of Russia near Milerovo airport and things like that, it means they're preparing. They will definitely use those forces. And I try to prepare people for things like that. It was years prior to the invasion, basically. I was talking about those things. I was talking about aviation strikes, missile strikes, things that people didn't experience, but we could expect them. I was talking about artillery strikes, what to do in case of shelling and things like that. And Ukrainian people would comment, and they were angry. They were like, why are you trying to scare us? We have peaceful life. We don't want all that. Why are you scaring us? And just 1 year later, this happened. And now everybody experiences just the thing that I was talking about in the videos. And we Ukrainians, we learned that your life can change instantly with just one shell, with just one bomb falling on your house, and all you see around you changes dramatically. People must understand that if Ukraine falls in this war, their life can change too, and it will be just a matter of time, because a lot of people in Ukraine didn't believe as well.
And I think Poland gets that, the Baltics get that, Romania gets it, and a number of other countries, in the fringe around Russia understand that. Finland and the Nordics kind of get it quite clearly.
Yeah.
I think in Britain we get it as well, and for very different reasons. And there's two factors in Britain that really, we like an underdog. We like someone who has at the outset a kind of low chance of winning against a bully. You know, we tend to psychologically side with the underdog, which Ukraine has seemed to be throughout this, but it's obviously now coming on top. But also the images of Bucha, Irpin, Mariupol, and so other, they create a resonance, of course, with images that we've seen from the Second World War, and especially, you know, the gutted buildings of London. The famous picture of St. Paul's against the skyline, surrounded by smoke and flames as the city burned. I think that's, you know, we've been brought up on that, and it creates a terrible resonance with what we see is happening in Ukraine.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, Coventry, basically the same story as with the Mariupol, we can say. And to my surprise, when the UK started supporting Ukraine, I saw a lot of decent people that were literally, you know, ready to do whatever they can to help us. And because we had this war for 9 years already, and we didn't have much support from foreign volunteers, you know, some small groups of people in Lithuania, in Poland, for example. Yeah, Poland always supported us. They are tough and incredible people, of course. And but other than that, we didn't have much international support because, again, I blame bad marketing for Ukraine. Nobody even knew where Ukraine was situated. And of course, even though we tried to speak on the international level about those atrocities performed by those covert Russian troops, those Buratian tankers and Yakutian tankers who pretended they were locals, which was completely ridiculous. Even despite we tried to talk about it, but still Europe wasn't prepared for, you know, for what was gonna happen. I can say that in Ukraine we were not prepared for such an international support. You know, we were never prepared that people on the West, on the East, people in Africa will be supporting us. But when this happened, I think Russians also they had this expectation that Ukraine would not be supported by the West. Yeah. Not as much, because for those 8 years prior to this invasion, there wasn't such a big support. So they probably expected, you know, that Ukraine will remain like an outcast.
And they probably thought all that money they tipped in to try and buy off politicians, Medvedchuk and others, and all the money they'd invested in pro-Russian parties and TV stations, the fact the church under the Moscow Patriarch is completely kind of corrupt and controlled. They probably thought that all these things combined, as well as their lack of belief in organic grassroots democracy, they probably just thought, you know what, Zelensky's going to run away. We've got our guys on the inside. This is going to be fairly easy.
Yes, and another thing is, the reason why we Ukrainians were surprised is probably because there's one thing that nobody expected, that the world actually changed, and majority of the world consists of decent people who care, who actually care. And that is a beautiful thing, because yeah, we knew that probably some people will support us, some people will fall for Russian propaganda and yada yada, but I think it's a new phenomenon. The world changed big time, and all those new generations of 2000s, they actually care about what happens. So I would say, brings me a lot of hope for the better future.
I mean, that's a good place to. So I only got one more question, really, but I've got 100 million more questions, but we're going to have to save them potentially for a future video, which I hope would happen. But coming back to your point about sort of, people were going out for meals, people were living normal lives. They didn't want to think that something as terrible as this could happen until it did, until they woke up on that, in the night, to find that, the invasion and bombardment had began. But like a spring that's been stretched too far, there's no going back, is there? I mean, there's no going back to that normal life anymore. There's no going back to the sort of illusion, either in the West or Ukraine, that Russia can somehow be, cooperated with, and brought back into the civilized family of nations. I mean, we're talking about generations before that might be possible, and a lot of things will need to change in Russia before that's even considered. My assumption here is that Ukraine is going to win. I believe you'll eject at a terrible price, but eject Russians from the entirety of your territory. The only question is how quickly, and of course, German support can help make that fast or make that slow. And if it's slow, the price is going to be absolutely worse even than the current one. But in the long-term future, Ukraine is this extraordinary place in geography, isn't it? It's going to have to be a fortress, not just the front line of Western values, but it's going to have to be an armed fortress, a trained fortress. People are going to have to be like the Finns do, actually. I mean, the Finns have done this ever since, the Russian wars in the 1940s. Everyone's going to have to be involved in the military somehow. Everyone's going to have to be trained in a state of readiness. You're going to have an extraordinary tech industry to sort of bolster that. I imagine that the engineering side of things, military infrastructure, military industry is going to be, one of the leaders in Europe. But this will change Ukraine fundamentally, won't it? Its role in Europe, but also its constitution as a society.
Absolutely. I remember the very first morning of this invasion, when Ukrainian people suddenly realized that the war started, we are being bombed. Ukrainians realized that they're fascists. Oh my God, they lived 30 years in an independent country and having friendly relations with Russians, but they woke up as fascists for the first time in their lives. Like, what happened? And I think, of course, it will change a lot. Ukraine already turned into a shield for the Western world, shield that protects it from Russian terrorists, from this barbarian force. And a lot of Ukrainians already realized that. We already realized that, yes, this is our price for being part of a civilized world, for being part of a European family, but somebody has to do that. And unfortunately, we cannot change our geography. This is what we will have to do for the rest of the history until Russia changes, if ever. So there will be a lot of changes in the upcoming future after this war is finished. I think we will have plenty of reforms in our army as well, and hopefully after joining NATO, we will have more opportunity to exchange our experience and share all our skills that we gained through this fighting. But I think it's a good thing because it will improve the international security, and of course we will bring a lot of things that will let me call it military cooperation. I doubt that I will still be enjoying wearing uniform after this war, because there's nothing beautiful in the war. The reason I enlisted was because my country was in danger, and until it's in danger, I will serve. I will continue serving. But there is absolutely nothing beautiful in the war, and I hope that we will do everything to make future wars less possible. And the most important thing we must do to make future wars less possible is punish those maniacs that made this war possible, and showing other maniacs that they can do the same. When they are punished, there will be no more wars in the future.
I think what you've said there is so similar to what you hear when you listen to, British servicemen who were in the Second World War, who were on the beaches of Dunkirk and so on. They say that there's nothing glorious, there's nothing of pleasure in it, but it's a job that has to be done, and that seems to be the same sort of attitude.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, I'm still surprised that people like British citizens, American citizens, have so many things in common with us, with Ukrainians. Obviously, because currently we're going through the same things they went through back in those days. But I completely agree on that. There's absolutely no glory, no beauty in combat, nothing like that. It's a horrible thing. You would not like your children to experience that, trust me. And that's why we have to do everything we can to make sure they will never will.
On that note, Operator Starsky, it's been an incredible experience and privilege talking to you this morning. I know there are a million things I still want to ask you, but I'm going to let you get on with your Sunday morning. And I want to say thank you so much, and Slava Ukraini.
Heram Slava, thank you so much. The pleasure is all mine.